Hello and welcome back to the Beautiful Things channel. I decided that it was time I did a podcast. I haven't got a clue what number podcast this is. I should probably have looked it up before I started, but I'm sitting here knitting and I'm looking around me and I'm seeing carnage. I'm also seeing and feeling a bit exasperated with the fact that I have an awful lot of whips under the way that aren't getting done, and I have a huge stash in front of me as well that is desperate to be got started on. So I thought the best thing I could do, rather than just sitting there and showing you what I've been working on and showing you what I'd like to do and showing you what I've finished, that actually I could welcome you into my yarny corner and actually sit here and talk to you about the situation, what I am working on, what needs doing, and maybe we can come up with some ideas to kickstart me and get me going. Now, I know I've done this with you before. A couple of years ago, as part of Vlogmas, we actually went through the big box that's in front of me and I showed you what was in my stash closet. That's changed somewhat, so it's about time I did it again. So I hope you're going to enjoy this format. At the moment my camera is balanced on top of a suitcase which is on top of a small table, and I'm having to kind of lean in to get into focus, so I'm going to have to change that around a bit before we carry on. So I'm going to start with what I keep down here to the right of me when I sit on my end of the sofa. So let me show you what I see when I look down the side of my sofa. Now, it should be said that normally there's a little coffee table here that's currently housing the suitcase. And I did lift it off so that you could see what was down here. So the coffee table is normally here and it has my cuppa on it, and these things live underneath it. Now, as you can see, I'll show you this straight away. Here is a lovely Starcraft pack. It's a Lucy Attic 24 pack and it is the Sunny Log Cabin blanket. I have no intention of doing the Sunny Log Cabin blanket, but I love the colours in this particular pack, and this has plans. I can't say too much about it at the moment because it will actually be a gift, but I need to get started on that after Christmas. Next down here is a spare ball of my current project, so I will put this over to the other side and then I can talk to you about this in just a minute. And in here, this is where the embarrassment starts. Yeah, I think I need to put you back on the tripod before I talk to you about what's in there. And this is supposed to be my whip basket. It's supposed to contain project bags of only whips, but it's a mess. Let me put you back on the tripod. Never mind that. I'm going to come down to the floor. I'm going to come down to your level, and let's just sift through this basket and what's down here, shall we? So firstly, my Knit Pro needles. Now, these should just be away in the drawer. They're not, because I got them out because I needed them and then I couldn't get them back in the box they come from because there's so much stuff on top of it. So I'm just going to put those to one side, and as part of this process we're going to clear up. They'll get put away in a minute. So this one you won't have seen before. This is my brand new project bag that I've just made. This is the Emmaline Bags Retreat bag, and I absolutely love this project bag because it has a frame inbuilt into the zipper so that when you open it, it becomes a box. So it's just beautiful. I absolutely love this, and this fabric is by Dashwood Studios. But this is my sock bag, my current sock bag, and it has a project bag within it. This you will have seen before. These are works in progress. These are my Rapunzel socks. They are a simple cable pattern that we teach at BTHQ. I don't teach, but Carol teaches at my studio. And I'm nearly there. I'm doing the foot now, and I'm actually so close to putting the toe on, and this one will be finished. And that is number 2. I've already got one finished one, so I really should pull my finger out and get these done. This has been my travel knitting for the past year. I bought this yarn in October 2018 when I was in Orlando, and I cast these socks on, when did I cast them on? I cast them on in April this year when I went to Arizona, and it's been my travel knitting, so I've only really knit on these on the plane, with the exception of from heel to toe here. I did just get started on this a couple of months ago. So it's really close to finishing. So I think what I'm going to do is make a pile of must finish really soon before I start anything new knitting. Now also in this bag is another pair of socks that I cast on, which is a bit naughty of me, but I bought this yarn recently. I'll link my haul up here. I went to Sconch and I bought this yarn recently. I had hoped it was self-striping. It's not, which is slightly disappointing, but there we go. And it had this one with it as matching toes, heels and cuffs. So I have started my very first pair of toe up socks, and I'm going to be putting Afterthought heels into these. So this has been with the help of Viv. So I only got this cast on because she was helping me do the toe up sock. I love the fact that you don't have to kitchener the toe, and it does give a really neat toe, so I think I could fall in love with this method quite easily. So I literally got this, you know, started so that I could get it done with Viv. I have no intention of picking these back up again until, do you know what? No, I might take these with me to Australia as my travel knitting, because they are simply tubes, so I can just knit and knit and knit and knit, and I'll get loads done on the plane. It's also a small project, bearing in mind it's going to be summer there. I don't want a heavy, hot project to be working on. And knowing me and my holidays, I won't actually get anything done while I'm there. It'll just be plain knitting. So I will put this into a slightly smaller bag, I think, and I will take this with me as my travel knitting. So, yes, that's that. Oh, another embarrassment. This is my Christmas Eve cast on, or my Christmas Eve crochet on, from last Christmas Eve. And you're going to be seeing this. When are you going to be seeing this? You may or may not be seeing this in the new year or towards the end of December, because I'm sharing some Christmas makes. So yeah, depending when you see it, I'm talking about Christmas Eve 2018. Oh, phone. Sorry, where were we? Yes, this was my Christmas Eve crochet on, and it's finished, but I'm really not happy with it. So this was using the yarn from Saz Cast Yarns in DK, and it's called Mystic Narwhal, and it's beautiful. And I crocheted, I can't even remember the name of it now. It's the Crochet Project. I'm going to have to look for the pattern. I'll come across the pattern. I can't remember it off the top of my head. Anyway, it's a really nice shawl, and it's got this gorgeous rib effect. This is 2 skeins of DK, and as you can see, it's just not long enough. It's like a bib, it's like a neckerchief. It does nothing. It's not big enough. Yeah, I could carry on, but I'd need probably a couple more skeins to make it even anything worth wanting to wear. It takes an awful long while, and that would make it a really expensive shawl. It's really frustrating because it's taken so long. I really don't want to pull it back, but I think I'm going to have to, because I don't want to waste this yarn. The other thing I thought about doing was actually joining it here and turning it into some kind of yoke for a jumper and joining onto it, but I think that's just a completely unrealistic expectation. So I really don't know what to do with 2 beautiful skeins of DK. It's so soft, it's so lovely to work with. I love Saz's yarn. I think part of me wants to pull it back and turn it into a cardigan for little Miss Mac, but then she'll grow out of it really quickly, and I don't know that she'll wear it either. So I really don't know what to do with it. So your suggestions, gratefully appreciated, but I think it's going to have to be frogged, which is a terrible shame. The contour shawl, that's it. I'm certainly not going to frog this though before Waltham Abbey Wool Show, because Saz is exhibiting at Waltham Abbey Wool Show and I'm helping her out, and I know she will appreciate having samples of how her yarn crochets up or knits up. Although it's not finished as such, I can give it a bit of a block. We can hang it on a hanger and it will look lovely on her stall. So I'm not going to do that, don't worry Saz, I'm not going to pull it back until after Waltham Abbey Wool Show, but then this may become something else. I'm thinking it might even just become like hats, a couple of different hats even, and some mittens or something, I'm not sure, but that's going back into its bag. This bag is one of my limited edition BTHQ bags which I made last year. Sadly there is none of these left, but it's my one and I like it because it's the only one that has a brown and pink spotty lining. And now we're getting to the point where I don't actually know what's in what bag. This is my lovely alpaca bag that I bought at Edinburgh Yarn Festival a couple of years ago. I have no idea what's in it. Oh, okay. This is my sample of brioche, which I think I showed you a few podcasts ago. I did a class with Carol to learn the basics of brioche, and this is in there because I said to myself that I was going to sit down and do a few more rows on it just so that the pattern got sunk into my head. The class was back in spring. I think I haven't done that, so yeah. Then we've got some leftovers. There's a bit more of this yarn of my project I'm currently working on. More on that later. There is a leftover ball of Crochet, I think it's called, from a project which I will get to in a minute, but it's further down in the bag. So I'm just going to put that to one side. My lovely mustard neon flowery bag that I bought Nottingham Yarn Expo a couple of years ago. Don't know what's in here either. Oh, okay, yeah. This is my Shipy's Stormy Day shawl in here that I started when I went on retreat with Elspeth in October 2018. Oh God, this is embarrassing. And yeah, I've done nothing on it. It's so dark you can't see it. But it is so fine and it involves so much counting that I've just, there you go, you can see it with the light behind it. It's beautiful, but it's such fine yarn and it involves so much counting and I just kept going wrong. So yes, that's just another embarrassment. And that would be where my 3.5 hook went as well. It's embarrassing, it really is embarrassing. I'm actually starting to regret starting to show you this pit of doom now. So there's a carrier bag. I know what's in here. Sorry Mum, I haven't done it yet. I will do it. She has very kindly crocheted me a road trip shawl with some of the yarn. It's sparkly, but you can't see that in this light. This is Stylecraft Cabaret. I bought this yarn at the Knitting and Stitch show in October this year, 2019. So only very recently. See, she's speedy. She started this one week, she finished it the next. She's given it to me, it's been blocked and she's given me the spare yarn. It just needs its tassels putting on it. So I'm going to add this to the pile of things that I must get done in the next few weeks or so before I can start anything else. Then we get deeper into this basket and we're uncovering things now that I haven't uncovered for a very long time. My little pixie bag that I made, and what's this got in it? Oh gosh, this is apt, isn't it? So this was the shawl from last year's 2018's Advent. So I had a For the Love of Yarn DK Advent and it's beautiful. I love it, really nice. I finished all of the Advent minis that went into it and it then has this skein of yarn to add to the bottom. But I didn't add it because I wasn't sure that it worked. I'm not sure. Don't know. Can you see that? Oh, maybe it does. I think I was just being silly really. So yes, I need to cake this up and I need to dig out the pattern. It is the Pebbles on the Beach crochet pattern. You see that? Probably not. There we go, Pebbles on the Beach by For the Love of Yarn. So yes, sorry Lisa, I was, you know, doing really well. I kept up with it. I did it every day in Advent last year, but then it got no further, so it's now Advent again. So really I should cake that up. This would be a good one to potentially take away with me as well, although I don't want to take too much stuff. But yes, so I'm going to put that into the pile of things that have to get done, because they're only little bits. They don't take very long, a couple of evenings and I'll have done that. Yeah, I need to be good. What else is in here? I think this is socks. Little watermelon bag. Yes, this is I need to Kitchener this. This is, Viv helped me put my first afterthought heel into these socks, which I finished the tubes of years ago. I don't even know how many years ago. So she helped me in the summer learn how to put an afterthought heel in, which I've done, and I've knitted it. I just need to Kitchener that. And then the other one is all marked up, ready to be cut. And I think it's been so long since I did it, I might need another lesson, Viv. Or I might just have to give them to you and get you to finish them for me. So that needs to go into the pile of things that need to get finished. I'm basically refilling my whip basket. This is another pair. I'm terrible. Yeah, this is another pair. These are Izzy's. And these have all been marked up, ready to Kitchener. Although I haven't got any yarn. Oh, I haven't marked that one up. I've only marked that one up. This was my Advent 2017. And I knitted mittens that went wrong and then turned them into a small pair of socks for Isabel. So yeah, these are 2 years old. So I need to find some contrast for those. So I need to look through my mini stash. So I'm going to put those to actually one side to actually look for the relevant mini today. And then I can at least put the mini in the bag. One step closer. Yes, don't know what this is either. Little drawstring bag. Oh, okay, yeah, this is leftover yarn from my one single finished object, so I might as well show you that now. I had a massive slump in my knitting and crocheting recently. I just couldn't get into the swing of it. I just didn't fancy doing it. I think it was summer. And I just didn't want to do anything this summer, but when winter started to creep in, I started to feel a bit more wanting to do things. I needed a quick project, so I made a pair of mittens, and I made these in 3 evenings. I was really pleased with them. I've never made a pair of mittens before, so there we go. They're just simple. I've got a rib, little tiny bit of rib around the top. No, there's no rib around there, that's a lie. A little bit of rib around the top here. And they're just really simple. They've got a little thumb gusset. And these are called Sarah's Easy Mitts or Sarah's Simple Mitts. I'm not sure. Sarah's even. I'll link it down below in the description. And Viv shared this pattern with me. This yarn is from the Pound Shop. It's from Poundland. It's lovely. It's really soft and it's got a kind of greeny stellina running through it. So they're slightly sparkly. So I'm super pleased with these. And they have actually had a fair amount of wear as well. They do just live in my coat pocket. They're good when I need to be able to feel my fingers at work, but it's still a bit too chilly to take my gloves off. So I'm really pleased with those, which means I should unpack this bag really. Look, there's one of my Knit Pro cables that I probably couldn't find. So I'll put that with the needles. And then, what do you do with all your spare yarn? It just seems to live. When I finish a project, I just chuck it back in the bag. So I'm going to put that in a pile. This bag is now empty. It can go away. So I'll put that in the putting away bag pile. I've got lots of piles. Yes. Oh God, I know what this one is. This is this. You've seen this so many times. and I haven't picked this one up again. This is the blooming contour shawl that I've been working on for about 50,000 years. It's lace weight, hence why it takes so long. There's all of this left, which doesn't look like very much, but when it's lace weight, it's lots. There's not even a hook in there. I need to just suck it up and get started, because this is lovely. This one's going to actually, once it's blocked, you can see it will come down really far. It's going to be really nice. But yeah, I think it's about 4 years old, 5 years old possibly even. I bought the yarn at my very first yarn sale I ever went to one day. And then this big ginormous bag, I think is all my minis. Yes, I've started something in here. I don't know what it is. Ooh, what is this? It's in the round. That's where my sock needles went. It's in the round. 2.5, a big circle. Was I doing a cow? What was I doing? I think I might have just been knitting a tube like a cow. That's not a bad idea actually. When did I start that? I've impressed myself. That's, oh yes, so this is my magic ball that I made up with my Advent swap partner from last year. I'm so sorry, I haven't done anything with it. I feel awful. I've got 2 balls like this. There's another one somewhere. No, that's a lie. This isn't my Advent swap one. This is just a ball that I made up. I started to make up of some of my minis. I think I'm just going to knit it into a big tube. I think that was my plan. It must have been. Or Viv, is this that funny ridgy hat thing that you sent me? No, it's too big for a hat. It must be a cow. What was I doing? Someone remind me, what was I doing? What do I do with it? Do I carry on? Or do I pull it back? I've got so many minis, look. Bag of them. Loads of them. I need to sort my life out. There's more in here. Right, there's another ball of that. Oh, I need to get to that. I need to find it. It's got to be somewhere. The project. Oh, this is more minis. This is... oh, okay. This is the Advent minis that went into Izzy's socks. So, what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this into work with me. I'm going to see Viv on Friday. I'm going to take this into work with me, and I'm going to ask her if there's enough in those minis to make the toes with, or the heels with. I'm sure there is. And then I might see if she'll do it for me. Put that in my work bag. Right, this basket is empty now. There's Verity's on the hook, Truly Hook pattern book in there from where I worked on a cardigan ages ago. A silicone gel sample sachet thing, and this basket is now empty again. So this is going to be my works in progress basket for things that I must get done now. So I'm not going to put back into it the random bags of things that I'm never likely to finish. They're going to go somewhere else, and I don't know where. So let me put these things back in this basket. Right, put that behind me on the sofa, and I can put my current project in there too. Now, there is also this big brown paper bag down here, and I know what's in here. There is a project which I started, which I need to pull back. I need to give this to my mum actually, because she's really good at things like this. I need to pull it back, but it's Boho Spirit yarn, and it's really fluffy. It's got a lovely halo to it, but the problem when you try and pull it back is that it gets itself tangled up. So I've already pulled back some of it. You can see I've started to pull back, and I've made a little ball, but it got so knotted that I kind of gave up. So I'm going to keep this out. I'm going to give it to Mum. She can pull it back. It is lovely. I crocheted these long panels. It's like a lacy design. It was something I came up with myself. The idea was that one panel would go across you here, and it would do up under the arm. And this one was also a long one, but I've started to pull it back, and that would go over this one, and it would do up under the arm, and it would join up at the back. But I realised I just looked like a shepherd from the Nativity, and it just wasn't floating my boat. So although I crocheted loads on this, it needs to be pulled back and it needs to be something else. So again, that needs to go in a different pile over the other side of the room, where I can give it to my mum and she can work her magic on it. Now in here is a finished object, but it's not finished. It is finished, but it's not finished. I knitted a cardigan. I finished this, and I started this. I bought the yarn in October 2018 when I was on retreat with Elspeth. I knitted the cardigan. It's all finished. It's all joined together. It just needs its ends woven in. So that's something Mum could do. She likes doing ends, but it won't take me long to do. It needs its ends woven in, and it needs to be blocked, and then it's ready to wear. I haven't even got the pattern in there, but it is what this leftover Drifter Chunky is, and it's King Cole Drifter Chunky in the shade Lisbon. And it's a really lovely cardigan. I don't even know where the pattern is. Isn't that terrible? I'm sure I'll come across it at some point. But it's got, hang on, let me take this one off. It's got a big foldy over collar. It's raglan sleeve. It's got a big fold collar. It has got a big fold collar. It needs to be blocked. So it doesn't want to work at the moment. And it comes across like so, and does up. So I really like it. It's got nice long sleeves. I think I made the sleeves a bit longer. It's got a big thick cuff on it. It's got this lovely garter ridge all the way down, that's knit on in the process. You don't put it on afterwards, so it keeps the stripe going through, which is really nice. And a lovely garter band along the bottom. It's super soft and cosy. It's lovely. I'm going to get lots of wear out of it, but until all of these ends are darned in, I think it's supposed to have a big button as well here somewhere. I can't remember. I need to find the pattern and look at the picture. But it's really cosy. I like it, and I am going to get lots of wear out of it. So this needs to stay out of its brown paper bag, and it needs to be on the very top of the basket. And what I really should do is darn those ends in tonight. And I can throw this away, but not before I retrieved yet another pair of knitting needles. So what would you do with this? That's what's left over. I don't think there's enough for a hat at all. What would you do with it? Let me know. I'm going to just put it in the scrap box at work. I've just remembered. There's a box behind the sofa, and in that box, oh gosh, is 4 more balls of this peachy stuff that I did the Sarah mittens with. So I've got no idea what I'm going to do with that stash. And the beginnings of a baby blanket that, again, I've never ever done anything with. I've made a start on making some daisy puff. There you go. I made a start on making some daisy puff crochet squares. They all get joined together with join as you go, and I had no plans for this. I just wanted to work on a baby blanket. So I had no intention of this being for anybody, honestly. I have got a pregnant friend, it's not for her. I think I just started it because potentially it was going to be a sample for a class, because I think it would be a really popular class. And I should probably carry on with it because it would be a really popular class, because it could be broken down into parts. People could come and learn to make the daisies, go away, make all their daisies, and then turn their daisies into squares, go away, turn them all into squares. Then we can have a join as you go lesson where they join them all up, and then we can have a lesson on the borders. So it would be a really nice one to do and kind of hold people's hands through the process of making an intricate baby blanket. So I think I need to put this into a project bag and actually carry on with it. Yes, that's what I'm going to do. It's in a lovely box at the moment. This box I kept. My husband bought me some Joules activewear years ago, and it came in a gorgeous gift box with a magnetic closure. So it's a really handy box to keep stuff in. But maybe this can be my... I don't need another box of spare yarn. Maybe I should just take this to work because I don't need it here. That's what I'll do. I'll take it to work. Oh my goodness. Right, the drawers next to me. There's yarn in there too. It really is horrendous. The bottom drawer I've just discovered is actually empty. So I'm going to put those project bags of things that I just don't know what to do with at the moment in there. I know that's not a good idea. If I don't leave them out, they're just going to get hidden away. But I know that I'm not going to work on them now, so what's the point in having them out cluttering up my house? Let's have a look at these drawers. So, you guys can all live in here. And it seems a shame because you're such pretty bags, but that is your life for now. See you later. Now in here, aha. Oh, I love this bag. This is my Amsterdam bag. It isn't actually Amsterdam, but it reminds me of Amsterdam with all the little tall buildings and the bicycles. I love this fabric. It's one of my favourite bags. And, aha! It has 2 spare balls of the green. So, perfect. This must have had that blanket in it. And if it didn't, it does now. I'm going to put all those balls in there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the little drawstring bag to put my finished pieces in. Now the question is, what size hook did I use? I suspect it would have just been a 4. So they're going to go in there. And although I know this pattern off by heart, I'm going to put that in there too. And this can now go into my works in progress basket. Ah, that felt better. Also in here, oh, okay. This is all of the yarn for my penguono, which, oh, that's somewhere too. And there's lots of lovely yarn in here. But that is just literally all of the spare yarn for my penguono. I think that can stay in there. I don't see me doing that anytime soon, and I'm going to try and dig out my penguono, and that can go in here as well. And then, oh, this is on my 40 for 40 list. This is the Boy Who Lived jumper or cardigan by Verity of Truly Hooked. I bought myself a kit and she dyed it for me in my company colours so that I could make a brown jumper with all of my Harry Potter Fair Isle knitting in my colours, and I haven't even started it, which is embarrassing, but that's going to have to stay put. There is no way I'm in the right frame of mind to start a colourwork jumper. It is on my 40 for 40 list, so it will get done. Slight changes to my 40 for 40. It was going to be 40 things that I did in the year that I turned 40. I am now very nearly 41. There's less than a month to go. In fact, no, that's a lie. A month today I will be 41. It's the 5th of December today. So that's not going to happen in the next 4 weeks. My 40 for 40 has changed, and there'll be more on that in another video coming up really soon. So this is going back into that drawer. I was going to include my box as well and all of my stash, but I don't think I can. This video's got really long. I am going to open the box and I will share it with you because I'll get the whips out of it, but then I think the stash is going to have to be another day. So let's leave this drawer open. Let me show you what I'm currently working on. So I'm doing great guns on this. It is a jumper. I have the front finished, ta-da, with stitches on a stitch holder to pick up for the neck. So the front's finished. I have made a good start on the back. I only cast this on yesterday. I've had lots of knitting days, so that's the back. Coming on nicely, and this is the pattern itself. I bought this the other week in Sconch. It's a lovely roll neck jumper, really simple. You see from the back it's got a rib on the bottom and then a big ribby neck. It is really simple to knit. I'm not knitting it in the yarn it was meant to be knit in. They don't have it in the shop, so I'm doing it in the James C. Brett Marble Chunky instead. The reason I've started another big ball when I've got this little ball left is I knitted the front and this is what was left over. So I figured I'll start a new ball to knit the back, which I've done, and then I should get this sort of size left over, and then I'll use these two smaller balls to knit the sleeves, and the big neckline I've got another ball for. So that was my plan. I'm going to knit the sleeves two at a time so that they match. So that is my plan. I'm cracking on with that. I don't think I'll have it finished before I go away. I go away in 10 days now, but I'll certainly have it, you know, a lot closer to being finished. So that's my work in progress, and I am also working on a crochet project, and this is the reason you won't be seeing this video until either after the gift has been given or after Christmas. The gift will be being given in 10 days time, on the 15th, and you may well be seeing this video between then and Christmas, or then and New Year, but I don't know. It might be an after Christmas thing. I am working on a character from the Mittens. So I bought the latest Simply Crochet magazine because it came with the Mittens 2020 calendar, and in it is this chap here. Those of you in the know will know that this is Snuffkin, and Snuffkin happens to be Elspeth's favourite character from the Mittens. Now this is a make of love, I am telling you. I will go into it in more detail in the gift guide that I'm going to be producing for YouTube of all of the handmade gifts that I've made this Christmas. But just to show you some of the bits, as an example, it isn't like a normal crochet pattern where you make everything and you stitch it together. It all seems to crochet itself together. It's really clever. There's lots of bits in the pattern where they'll ask you to crochet in the back loop only, and that means that then you'll come back to those back loops later on, or the front loops that left unworked, and you'll join new colours into those. So you're kind of crocheting layers on layers on layers. As an example, that's the head, so it looks a bit like a boob, and then you crochet an entire wig for his hair. It's a completely separate wig, so it's not, normally you do kind of like the nose and half the face and then you change to the hair colour, but no, not with this. You make an entire head, then you make a wig, you put the wig on the head, and then you make an entire hat, and the hat then goes on top. So there's like 3 layers of crochet. It's really intricate. Someone's really come up with this pattern, and they've come up with it well. I've noticed one mistake in it so far, and it's in this hat. So if you do crochet it, it tells you, I think it goes, it says like 2 stitches between each increase, then 3 stitches between each increase, then 4 stitches between each increase, then 5, then it goes 7 and 8, and the stitch count doesn't work. So if you do 6 and then 7, it does work. So it's just a very easy to make mistake in the pattern. So I've got it to work anyway. I'm really happy with it. But even nice things, like look at the edge of this hat. So you can see it gets you to do like little slip stitches every so often, and little chains, so that it's got like these little cut out nicks around the brim of the hat, so it looks tattered. There's a lot of thought gone into this pattern. I'm really enjoying it actually. It's hard work, and I'm really having to count. I mean, all these pieces, a whole jiffy bag of pieces. This body, get it out. Oof. I have sewn the legs on terribly, so I'm not going to show you that. But just as an example, this ball here, this peachy coloured ball, that's the neck. So you make the neck and you put back loops into that. You then join the body onto the back loops and you crochet that. But you then leave more back loops in the body to join the coat onto. And then you leave back loops in that to do the collar. So there's like 4 layers of crochet all going round each other. It's so clever. So yes, that's his body with his coat, and he has got arms. They just haven't been attached yet. So there's his arms. So he's almost finished. He just needs a feather for his cap and a flower. And then he needs to just be finally all sewn together. And he has got little crocheted buttons that run up the back of his coat. I made them, I stitched them on in the wrong place. And Mum cut them all off for me, but they all died when they got cut off. So I'm actually thinking I'm going to try and find some little wooden buttons. I think it would look really nice if it had proper little buttons on it. But yes, it's a labour of love. It has taken many, many hours. Elspeth, know that you are special. And that is living in my llama project bag, and this project bag is actually going to be gifted to Elspeth with a Snufkin inside it. So yes, that's that. That's currently living on top of the box here, all of these bits. If I don't have it directly in front of me, I don't do it. Although saying that, I haven't worked on it in a week and it has been directly in front of me. I need to now dive into that box to find the rest of my whips and to show you a little glimpse of my stash, but I'm not going to talk you through it today. I'm going to do it as a separate video. So this box is fairly organised actually, and I have showed you it before, but I don't think I showed you all my stash. But my needles and things all live in here. So here's my penguono. Now this is so nearly finished. It's all in here. It just needs the brioche band on the bottom and all of the ends darning in. But you can see it's got all the lovely welts on it. I love this. I really must get this finished. But I need to master that brioche because I've worked so hard on this. I'd feel really disheartened if I didn't do the brioche band. You can just do a garter band. But I think I'd be cheating myself if I did that. So I want to really get to grips with that brioche. So I'm going to take this out of here now and put it in the drawer with the rest of the yarn and the other whips. And there's another blooming set of Knit Pros in there. It's no wonder I can't find them. This is living in one of my big pin collectors project bags. So you've got all the pins and badges on there. This is one of my free online, well, it's not free, but an online course that I run, sewing course. Is there any other whips in here, or is it all stash? Stash, project bag. Oh, a new project bag that I made that I haven't shown you. This is my Care Bears bag. This is the Vivian bag. It's really handy when you pull up on the drawstring. The handles lift up so it becomes a little carry-all bag. And this is one of the projects in our So Beautiful Things sewing club. So if you want to join that, it's an online sewing club. It's got a zipper pocket on the inside too. It's an online sewing club. You can make a project every month with me. I'll link details down below. So that's empty at the moment. It needs to go in my project bag of bags. And then I do think this is all stash in here now. Patterns, stash, empty project bag, stash. Oh, lovely project. I bought this for Mother's Day from Etsy years ago. That needs to go in my bags bag. Absolutely criminal. My stash is beautiful. There's some lovely, lovely, lovely things in there. So I'm going to finish this video for now. I'm going to say goodbye. I'm going to go away. I'm going to come home. I'm going to crack on with the things in the basket behind me, and then hopefully I'll be back at some point in the new year with some finished items to show you. But before I go, or before I switch off the camera, I'm going to film a stash dive in this box and I'll upload it at a later date onto the channel. So thank you for watching. Thank you for sticking with me. I hope that was of interest. If it wasn't, let me know. I won't do it again. And I will see you soon. Thanks for watching. Bye!